Round 5 of the GTWS Manufacturers Cup Exhibition Series 2023-2024 qualify session. Let's see if we can get a better presentation today compared to the round 3 in which I made a serious mistake that possibly cost me my first and sole dreamt victory in Nürburgring in an official event. We have a relatively clean track for this first valid lap, one of two in total considering the limit time of 5 minutes for this qualify session. This will be my best lap as I'll get traffic during my second lap and won't improve my time in relation to this one. As I'm racing in the GT3 League, we'll have 16 laps and must use the hard compounds mandatorily. Hard and medium tire compounds allowed, so I'll choose the compound for the race start depending on my start position. Medium if I start on the top of the grid, and hard if I start from the bottom. For this first valid lap, we get 143.604. Not a so good lap time, but it puts us in third so far. So if the other drivers don't improve their times during the second valid lap, that's the position we'll start from. As you can see, I will have traffic from now on and won't improve my start position. There is no time left. If the qualify sessions were a little longer, the pilots would have better chances to leave the pits and have better chances of improving their times out of the traffic. But that's another story. So we'll start in third and use the medium tires, which may be proved to be the wrongest strategy. Come with me and let's see how the race developed. Weapons clear. Now, if it's your first time here on Fighter Driver channel and you found this content interesting and useful, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell button so you can follow us and be notified every time there's a new video or content here in the channel. You can also hit the like button, leave us a comment telling us what you think about our job here, and finally share this content with your friends if you think they'll like it. Fast and easy, you accomplish this mission and help us a lot by doing so. We appreciate all your support. Salute and welcome to the Fighter Driver channel. I'm Gabriel Oliveira, the Fighter Driver, and we're about to start this fifth round of the Manufacturers Cup Exhibition Series 2023-2024 in Barcelona. And I must say I'm sorry for again the replay didn't record, so I won't be able to bring you all the different cameras and perspectives as I'm used to do. But luckily, I always record my screen in real time, so we'll watch it from my driving perspective. I'll be very careful in this beginning. I don't know if the drivers ahead are following a similar strategy or if they are using the hard tires now, which might make them slower than me, and I must be aware of this to avoid any accident. Just hope the ones coming behind us are aware of this as well. I take the inside line not with the intention to overtake the Argentinian driver in P2 right now, but for I don't miss my braking point. The drivers behind come too hot but avoid a collision against us, a little furball kind of forms in there, so we'll breathe out of pressure and keep on the chase, trying to get to P2 and P1 now. I have the impression that the B2 is using the hard compound, so keep the pressure and wait for the right opportunity. There is no need to be too aggressive and attack him, just need to be close enough, keep the pressure and wait for the opportunity or if he makes a mistake. We may have an opportunity here. We have some overlap, but not enough. The first corner favors us, but the second favors them, so we'll have to wait a little more. There we go. They overshoot a corner exit, so we take the position. End of lap 3, we managed to close the gap between us and P1 and also open the gap in relation to P3. We have the slipstream and maybe better tires. They see the move coming and don't defend the position, which makes crystal clear that they have hard tires, so they won't fight right now, leaving the fight for the second stint. Or maybe they have a different strategy. We shall see as the race develops. End of lap 6, we kept the P1 and opened a 2.2 seconds gap in relation to P2, way more to P3. But he managed to keep the pace, and now I'm thinking if it's gonna be good enough. My tires are losing grip as they wear, and the performance with the hard tires are not good. I even considered going through the entire race with the hard tires and not stopping. The fuel ain't a problem for this race, the pit is too long, but it was a risk, as you will see during the second stint, the struggle it was for the Mustang to find grip in those tires, especially going around the low speed corners. End of lap 9, the gap is still around 2 seconds, but will start reducing drastically right now as my left front tire is totally worn. I think I should have had my stop now, but it's too late, and as the race develops, we'll see it probably wouldn't make much difference. Now, if you haven't watched the previous episodes of our Mission Gran Turismo, I'll recommend you to watch the full playlist so you can follow our entire journey from the beginning after watching this race. And if Air Combat Sim is your thing, you can also watch the Mission War Thunder playlist. Cards here on the top right corner and the links in this video's description. By the way, next week we'll return to Mission War Thunder, as we had the special episode about the Gran Turismo Spec 2 update last week. We've been talking about Gran Turismo for 3 weeks in a row, but next week we'll bring the F4U Corsair showing all of its power in the sky, so stay tuned for it. You see now the gap is already between 1.3 and 1.4 seconds. I just don't have any more grip, especially on my left front tire. I really started regretting for not to stop during the previous lap, so I must survive the end of this one and get to the pits as far as I can. I come to my stop, and the American driver who started from the pole position takes the lead. Now I wonder if he's fixing the stop or is just moving on, finishing the race with the hard ones. If the latter is true, so there goes any chance I had to win this race. No fuel is required, we get our tires changed, and we'll move on coming back in P4. I'm really impressed with the Brazilian driver in the McLaren 650S. He started in P8 and is in P4 right now. He will take P2 and won't stop. So he got an excellent performance during the entire race with the worst tire compounds. Good job, pal! We leave the pits right in front of the American driver in P5, also in the McLaren 650S. The gap is around 0.7 seconds. I must keep this distance at least. But I start suffering the lack of grip as soon as the car hits the track. After the first lap, it will increase a bit, but not enough. My lap times will increase drastically from now on. I really couldn't find a good performance out of those tires. Jumping a little forward on lap 11, we see the Argentinian driver who now comes to his stop, and they were using the hard tires indeed. So now they'll have 5 laps with the medium tires and will be able to push on really hard. Can we get in front of them, and if so, can we hold them for the final laps and get the podium? I don't think there is any chance to get a P1, as I don't believe the American or the Brazilian drivers will stop if they didn't so yet. So my hopes are for a 3rd place here, which would be an excellent result. We shall see. Yep, I got it. We're in P3 now, and we have the American driver who was behind us between ourselves and the Argentinian driver. But can they hold the NSX with fresh medium tires? It's gonna be a tough end, folks. end of lap 13, the Argentinian driver overtook the American and is chasing me, the gap between us being 1.3 seconds and closing fast. My last lap wasn't very good, almost 1.46. This one back to 1.44 is a little better, but the lack of grip is making it particularly difficult to control the car with the joypad. It's very easy to oversteer around the slow corners, especially on the exits. The Coyote V8 makes some difference on the straights. I have the power and the speed, but I'm suffering on the slowest parts of the circuit. You can see how fast he comes closer when on the corners. Yellow flag ahead, it's gonna be a problem for me if I find traffic. The Argentinian gets really close as we exit turn 5, the second slowest corner of the circuit, and the traffic is right ahead. We're in danger here. It's a dogfight now, and I know it's pointless to try and fight. They're much faster than me and have much more grip than me, so I won't fight for it, but will double my attention to go around the corners the best I can and not lose the car. I just hope they don't force an overtaking in a bad moment. If they're patient and have action, I will open space for them to pass. It's a lesson we learn in air combat. Don't get yourself killed. If it's a lost fight, escape and live to fight the next battle another day. Come with way more action than me as we come on the straight to close lap 14, but they give up or just don't have the power. And here we can see how powerful the Mustang's engine really is. Turn 1, traffic ahead. We managed to overtake the latecomer, but in a bad line, which makes me even slower here. So now the Argentinian driver comes for the overtake. I'll keep the inside line and brake a little earlier, leaving the space for them to take it. And they do it. I have a little understeer and end up touching them. I'm really sorry for it. It wasn't my intention. Too good they didn't lose the car there. And now you'll see how fast they were as they opened the gap really fast. And I keep suffering with the understeer on the corner entries and oversteer on the corner exits. The gap to P5 is almost 6 seconds now. We must keep it and ensure the P4 here, folks. End of the race, something happened to the P5 and the gap increases, so we have no more threats and the P4 is ours. The ones on the top didn't stop and ensured the excellent results, especially the Brazilian driver in P2 who came from 8th and ended in 2nd. Congrats pal, really awesome race. And that's it for today guys, I hope you liked it, and if you did so, hit the like button, leave a comment and share this video with your friends who like Gran Turismo 7 and Sim Racing. Also consider subscribing to the channel with the notifications bell activated so you'll receive the notifications every time there is a new video here on the channel. I appreciate you who followed me so far, salute, and I see you on the next mission.